and nationwide. Tune in Monday mornings at 9 o'clock each week to get all that and more. And yeah, I get it. Time is money. But I promise you, you'll come out of this show with a profit.
There's only one place for you to get your daily dose of Missouri Tigers news, Mizzou Sports Daily. Join us as we break down the latest in the world of Mizzou athletics, from Stephanie Golan's team on the pitch to Eli Drinkwitz's guys on the gridiron. Tune in weekdays from 4 to 5 on KCOU 88.1 FM.
This coming Thursday, November 17th, Raw Indy Artist Straight White Teeth is performing at the Kansas City Museum. Show starts at 6 p.m. Be there or say goodbye to Straight Teeth.
When I was young, I was a shadow. Hands in my heart, I never had a name. But now I'm a figure in a window. Changing my clothes, but I'm still looking the same.
Lovely cushion header. Pajero! Oh, you beauty! What a head, son! What a head!
Box to Box is back and better than ever. Join myself, Jack Nolan, and my brand new co-host, Grant Salzman, to break down the world of Premier League and Champions League football. We have a ton of build-up to the 2022 Men's World Cup in Qatar, and of course, a fair few rants about U.S. men's national team manager Greg Berhalter. So if you want to stay up to date on the footballing world, tune into Box to Box, Mondays at 10 a.m. on KCOU.
That's astonishing. It's absolutely world-class.
Welcome back to KCOU Kickoff here on the Student Voice Missouri Tigers, KCOU 88.1 FM, previewing Mizzou's matchup with UMass coming up tomorrow night. 6:30 is kickoff from Furrow Field. We'll have that right here on KCOU 88.1. And some excitement in the morning as well. Homecoming parade is happening here in Columbia and on campus. We'll be live outside the Student Center tomorrow morning from 9 to 12 with live coverage from the parade, previewing the game. 3 hours of football talk, homecoming talk. Should be a great time. So it'll be a fun weekend. Already a buzz on campus, already a ton of people in town. It's definitely one of the best weekends throughout the entire year.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see the ball get dropped. Excited to enjoy some of the festivities tonight, and should be a fun broadcast tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I want to talk a little bit about the AP poll just here early in the season. So Mizzou, with last week's win, moves up to number 20. So, depending on what other teams are able to do, chance to get into the teens ahead of the bye week. And, maybe you look at a matchup against Alabama where both teams are in the teens. Kind of depends, what Alabama is able to do before that. They've got some tough tests, but I think it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, Mizzou goes up a couple of spots. Illinois had a tumble, and with good reason after their loss to Indiana. They go down 14 spots all the way to 23. But any thoughts on Mizzou's ranking or any other surprises in the college football world with this?
I don't know that particularly surprises. I think FSU, we'll find out because they got Miami not this week, but next week. Maybe a potential trap game tonight in Charlottesville for them. But this weekend, I think, is a huge one because I think we're going to learn a lot about LSU and Ole Miss. I've got some big question marks about LSU personally. I think that defense is really good, but I just don't know that they can score. And Ole Miss certainly has done what they've needed to do. Didn't look all that good against Arkansas or against Kentucky, but I tell you what, they went out there and gave Tulane a shellacking. And seems like with Trinidad Chambliss, maybe doesn't have the upside Austin Simmons has, but has clearly taken care of the ball better, which might be all they need. I think that defense is improving week by week. I think we're going to learn a lot about Texas A&M this weekend when they play Auburn, because I still think Auburn's really good. Felt like everything that could have broken against them did break against them last week in Norman, and they were still right there at the end of the ball game with a chance to win it. And then, of course, this Alabama-Georgia game's gonna teach us a lot. So I'm excited to watch that one.
There's some good ones this week. You've got another one, Penn State and Oregon. A top 10 matchup, 6 versus 3.
Big game, James.
The environment in Pennsylvania, tomorrow night is going to be unreal. Tomorrow. I mean, it's going to be probably the second best environment in the nation following Columbia and Faurot Field for the UMass game.
I'm sure when it's empty at halftime. But
it's too bad they scheduled UMass Mizzou at the same time as Penn State Oregon.
I know.
It should give people an opportunity to see both of those big matchups.
Absolutely. I can't believe they're running the Alabama game and the Penn State game at the same time. Alabama, Georgia, and Penn State.
There's a real debate.
Oversight there, yeah.
2 huge games happening at the same time.
On someone's part.
You like to see the big games happen at night. You do, but
I know this has been a big point of contention because Foxes, obviously, they tried to avoid running up against, what back in the day, or, a couple of years ago, I say back in the day, 3-4 years ago, they didn't want to run games against the SEC 2:30 game on CBS, and then whatever the ESPN primetime game was. They started this whole big noon thing, but it's really made a lot of people in Big Ten land angry because, they feel like these big games normally kick off at noon. I heard there was some lobbying from Penn State, and obviously part of the reason that they got this game time moved back late. I think the game's on NBC.
Yeah.
Did I have that wrong?
NBC? I think NBC usually gets a Big Ten. They had the Indiana-Illinois game, if I'm not mistaken, last week. That was a night game.
Yeah.
So, it'll be a fun weekend of football for sure. A couple of interesting games. These rankings could look a lot different next week. Speaking of night games, it's been nice that the Mizzou has gotten to play so many of them. Believe it's the first homecoming night game that has been here in Columbia, at least since over the past few years, and a lot of SEC night games as well. So exciting for the fans in Columbia. It should be another electric atmosphere tomorrow. Before we wrap up here, a little bit early here today, any final thoughts on Mizzou and UMass and kind of what you need to see from the Tigers? I know it's not the greatest matchup to break down, just given the kind of the difference in talent and difference in levels here. But, what does Mizzou have to focus on the most?
I think it's just one play at a time. That's it. Just process oriented tomorrow. No turnovers, and defense find a way to take the ball away. I think that would give Missouri fans a little bit of confidence before they have those 2 weeks off as they await Alabama.
Yeah, that's something that didn't touch on completely, but the turnover for sure. There were, they had a couple chances to intercept Lenore Sellers last week that they didn't take advantage of. And so holding on to the football and just focusing on those little things on defense and paying attention and, whether it's coming down with picks or trying to force fumbles. I think that's going to be huge later in the season when you're in some really close battles where you need to win the turnover battle. Mizzou, if there's one thing where you're still kind of wondering, can they do it? It is win the turnover battle. And so that'll be something that, if they can do that against UMass a little bit this weekend, and try to build some momentum going into a tough part of your SEC schedule, I think that'll be pretty key as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before we go, final score prediction, Billy, you can go first.
Yeah, I'll go 48-6. Missouri wins.
48-6. Okay. I am going to go 54-10. I'll say they get above 50. This offense has just been relentless.
Yeah,
I think they can get above the 50 mark. It'd be, like I said earlier, see if we see some Matt Zoller's time in the second half. That'll be the goal. Try to get ahead in this game, give some of your guys a rest. Let everybody get in on the homecoming fun. UMass will try to come in here and spoil the party. Missouri beat them by 42 last year, and they'll be looking for more of the same here and try to improve to 5-0 on the season and go into the bye week and then come into a huge matchup following the bye against Alabama. That's all the time we got here today, ending a little bit early. As a reminder, KCOU Kickoff is brought to you by Champs Chicken, located on Cinnamon Hill Lane in Columbia. Champs Chicken offers fast and filling meals, perfect for game day, late night, or grabbing between classes. Real chicken, real fast, real good. Champs Chicken. Billy, happy homecoming.
Happy homecoming.
We will see everybody next week here on the show. Like I said, you can catch tomorrow's game at 6:30 right here on KCOU 88.1 FM. Michael Moonen and Cam Smith will be on the call. And tune in the morning, 9 to 12, for coverage live outside the Missouri Student Center from the homecoming parade right here on the Student Voice of the Missouri Tigers. Thank you for tuning in to KCOU Kickoff. For Billy Jones, I'm Ian Paprocki, wishing you a happy Friday and a happy homecoming here from Como. Have a great rest of your day.
Yes, we're back, and so is the Breakfast of Champions, airing every Friday morning